Oh man, that was. Hey, how you guys doing, man? It's Joe D, and welcome to another Share Beer Show 430. This is number 430. Wow, that's a nice even number, 430. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Um, Today is what, September 19th, 2017, and welcome, man. This is our virtual pub table where you're welcome to join us from the safety and comfort of your home, no matter where you're at in the world. We are here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we have a Friday show, 1 p.m. Eastern. You're more than welcome to jump in with us. I'm still hearing about people from Florida that are getting back going. Some people are now getting internet service and all the other little luxuries that we enjoy on a day-to-day basis. So that's a good thing. So maybe we'll get more of our friends from Florida in here, which would be cool. Hey, we got Charlie Egan in there.
Charlie Egan in the chat. Hi, Charlie.
Wow. We got Charlie Egan in the chat. So haven't seen him in a long time. So he's UK, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
So I have to get some water. I am pretty.
He must be having trouble getting to sleep tonight, Charlie, because you're watching Share Beer. Guaranteed cure for insomnia.
Right. Yeah. Because what are we? Is it 1 in the morning? What is it?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like midnight.
Yeah, we have 6-hour difference between here and Germany, so that's East Coast.
Yeah, that's East Coast, right? Yeah. UK is correct. Yep. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, so in any case, man, we'll get to what we're drinking here real fast, and then we'll talk about all kinds of other beer related things. So, what are you drinking, Ruben?
I am having a Certain Swagger double IPA.
Wow.
From Old Bust Head Brewing Company. It's out of Virginia. I was down at Total Wine in Virginia, Northern Virginia, picking up the alcohol for my buddy's wedding, and I saw this on their seasonal rack, and I figured I'd pick it up. It's a 7.9% double IPA, 68 IBUs, and it's brewed with Citra and Hallertau Blanc hops.
So, what was the brewery again?
Old Bust Head.
Oh, okay.
It's called Certain Swagger. It's out of Vint Hill, Virginia.
Oh. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Untapped. Yep. Boy, Untapped's getting to be like Google, man. They've just got
Yeah.
They've just got everything on here. And they made some more features too recently. I guess that's something we can talk about as well. You can also I think can you rate, or you can do something with the serving style now on Untapped. I think that was their latest feature this month.
Oh, okay. I need to check that.
Yeah, if I'm not something like that, where would I go to get that sort of information? Because it was in my let me see, maybe I could look it up on my phone easier, because I can go to my app store and it'll show me like the latest features for that. But in any case, you've got 294 ratings on here, 96 ratings on here for that beer. There we are. There we go. Man, that took a minute. Yeah, 946. I'm sorry, 946 ratings on here. Total 230 in the last 30 days. 7.9% ABV. Is this another beer that you got for like $1 or something like that? Or
No. I paid more for this than I wanted. It was $15 for a 4-pack of Pounders.
Oh,
wow.
Okay. Wow, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it didn't have a price on it, but it has a pretty good date on the bottom, and I just figured, well, I'm buying it for a wedding anyhow. Might as well splurge a little bit. It was my roommate all 4 years of college, and I kind of converted him to craft beer. So I bought a bunch of different stuff for the wedding for at least the groom's party. Not everybody, but the groom's party.
Yeah, I did that too at a buddy of mine years ago now at a buddy of mine's wedding. You know, I was part of the wedding party, and we were at a no alcohol type of place. They had their wedding at a no alcohol type of place. So, you know, of course, being the good buddy I am, you know what I'm saying? You know, I brought the whiskey.
It's not alcohol, it's whiskey.
It's whiskey. Hello. Yeah, this one gets a 3.92 rating. That might be a Tom beer, maybe not. You know, it's
Tom would like
it. A little bit of a bad day for that one, but
yeah.
Tom would definitely like this.
68.
It's not a New England style, but it's a very nice double IPA.
Sounds good.
What does it say here? A heavy dry hop of Citra, and what is it? Hallertau? Is that how you say it? Blanc?
Hallertau, yeah.
Hallertau Blanc hops, Sauvignon Blanc and white grapefruit aromas, and the unmistakable flavors of fresh mango juice and passion fruit. You getting all of that in there? No.
What's that?
Okay.
You broke up for me for a second. I didn't hear you.
Am I cutting out? Okay.
ISIS is at work again.
ISIS again.
Yeah, ISIS is at work. So it says just tons of Citra, and then that Hallertau Blanc hops.
Yep.
Send a Sauvignon Blanc and white grapefruit aroma, and an unmistakable flavor of fresh mango juice and passion fruit.
Yeah, I don't drink white wine, so I don't know the Sauvignon Blanc, but the grapefruit, mango, and passion fruit for sure. I don't know what white wine really smells like. So, but yeah, definitely. And I get pineapple too, big time pineapple.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, like Sauvignon Blanc, a lot of times white will be maybe
I think that's white wine.
like
I don't know.
peach or like a pear or something like that. Sometimes.
We got a hottie.
Yeah, maybe
alert
like a subtle pear or something.
Yeah.
Let me see here, because we got a hottie alert here, man. We got to investigate here. Yeah, and Lindsay's, look at that. Yeah, look. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. See,
Is Lindsay in any of her check-in pictures?
That is a great question.
Oh, that is a good question. Yeah. See,
Selfies.
this is the kind of importance. Oh, she's only got
That's all.
6 pictures of just beer. Come on,
47 unique badges or 47 unique beers. Does she want to try 48 with Ruben?
Lindsay might be some 300-pound hairy guy.
Been anywhere till you bet on the man with 2,000 check-ins on tap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it can show you how it's done.
A real professional.
Yeah. Whoa, hey, wait a minute. We had a hottie in here. You gotta check that one out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So what was that white wine flavor that you were saying, Mark?
Oh, like maybe like a pear, something like that.
Oh.
Maybe pear or some kind of apple, maybe. I mean, that's kind of what I get a lot of times when I drink white wine. You get
a little bit of a twang to it or something.
Yeah, a little tangy, dry pear, apple, something like that.
Maybe the dryness is it.
It's actually pretty juicy, like as a mouthfeel. But I might get a slight pear. There's no apple. Definitely no apple.
Okay.
But
But
it's
definitely
more
pretty
tropical,
good.
fruity. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very nice. I mean, for like a beer that I didn't search out or anything, I was very impressed from what it says. And on the label, it actually says an unfiltered brew. You get aromas of nectarine, gooseberry, and white grapefruit aromas. And I don't know what a gooseberry smells like, but
Yeah, I think we've talked about that too, about gooseberries on here before. I think we even went through the trouble of looking up a gooseberry. I really don't want to see, goose's berries, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
no
like,
thanks.
yeah,
I especially don't want to smell
Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm good on that. You know, hey, keep your berries
Joe, we
to
actually,
yourself, man. You know what I'm saying?
hey, Joe, up here in Minnesota, we've got Gooseberry Falls up on the Iron Range, and it's very photogenic.
Yeah, hopefully them things don't fall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
This is like a several-stage waterfall. Very, very photogenic.
awesome. That's
I got
cool,
some photogenic gooseberries.
I was gonna say. I don't want to see them in their multiple stages either.
There we go. Show title.
That's what I was just going to say. Potential show title.
Well, I have to admit though, you know, what was it, maybe 2 years ago? I think that was when it was kind of coming to a head. You know, all those big grassy hops, it seems like that kind of coming to a head. Now we're getting some pretty hoppy beers again, but they're a nice fruity, juicier type of hop, and I have to say I prefer this, you know, blend of IPAs a lot more.
I agree.
Yeah,
Agreed.
juicier, more than dry. Yeah.
Right. Mark, what are you having, brother?
I'm having an Oktoberfest beer.
Oh,
I went out and got the fall 12 pack from Sam Adams. So this is.
Oh, okay. We've looked that up already. Yeah. Who had? Yeah, Bum had that.
Yeah, you had that what, last week or a couple weeks ago, huh, Bum?
About 4 weeks ago now.
Okay. Yeah.
jeez.
So I mean I've had it before, but it's been a couple years since I've had it. So.
Are you having it in proper Sam Adams glassware?
Yeah, I've got my Sam Adams glass. This is a pretty good. I think it's a pretty good representation of the style. I mean, I don't think it's quite as good as maybe Polliner or something like that, like a German Oktoberfest, but for an American one, it's pretty solid.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, it's got some nice kind of slightly spicy, bready malt, a little bit of nuts in there, gooseberries, some gooseberries.
There's gonna be a lot of gooseberries in these beers, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's, what is it, 5.5%, something like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's right in the range. You want these beers to be kind of flavorful but quaffable too. You know, so you don't need a high ABV on these things. You got to drink them by the liter. So you know,
Lots of caramel in there, and because it's got just a bazillion ratings on here.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
there's probably.
Oh wow.
it's
That's
got
the most I've ever seen. Yeah.
Wow.
it's 746,000 ratings on here. 22,000, practically 29, 3,000 ratings in the last 30 days.
That's cool.
That's incredible. I would imagine only Sam Adams could do that. You know.
Oh yeah, it's just.
You can see I'm responsible for one. But a 5.3% ABV, 16 IBUs. These aren't hoppy beers, friends. So if you want to try a beer and you're watching this show and you want something that's not going to be real hoppy, that's going to be a little more. Some are going to be sweeter, some maybe not as sweet, but it's a pretty decent style. 3.61. This is a good style right here, Marzen. So. Really good traditional German style. You know, if they're, and you know what's kind of cool is that the different Oktoberfest that I've had from the different breweries all seem to be kind of traditional to style too. Like, and you know, different in their own way, like any other recipe. If you were cooking or whatever, you put your own little touch on it, but they're not really going crazy with. You know, and we're calling this Oktoberfest, and it's really like, you know, some kind of black lager or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you see a lot of breweries, they'll brew this. It's a very seasonal beer, and it seems like no matter who the brewery is, they try to stay true to that, you know, Bavarian style.
Just about every style, it seems like, has been hopped up by somebody at some point.
Right. Hopped up or did something really,
But, yeah,
different.
you're right. Oktoberfest has remained pretty much pure by everyone.
Now just
Pretty
wait.
much.
Next year we'll get 105 IBU Oktoberfest barrel aged with cocoa nibs.
Next year we will have Hoptoberfest.
Yes.
Now the barrel age has happened though.
Yes.
Yeah.
The barrel age, yeah, and that I respect. I can respect because you're still making that beer and then just finding something to age it in.
Yeah.
And I can respect that. That's I don't have a problem with, because you're still making your traditional beer and maybe putting it in a wine barrel or a whiskey barrel or whatever you're doing, and you're aging it for a few months in there, and that's a beautiful thing. But the actual beer itself, I find them. I'm looking through a list of Oktoberfest beers, and of course some of them are German, but Bowles, you've got Boston Beer Company, of course. You've got Leinenkugel even. I mean, some of these even bigger breweries, they make an Oktoberfest beer. Sometimes that's the only beer they make that's really
Specialty
good,
beer,
that's decent. So Oktoberfest beers, I would say, if you're going through your beer case and you want, maybe you're tired of your usual, Bud Light or your usual Coronas, and you do want to, go out on the wild side and get something craftier, this would be a style to experiment with.
Yep. It's got some good flavor, not overpowering in any one thing, but definitely a lot more flavor than you're going to get in your standard beer.
Because it's made for festivals. It's
made for food. This is a perfect. I mean, this pairs with just about anything, really.
Just about anything, really. So the style as a whole, not, but yeah, the style as a whole is a good. I see you sniffing there, Tom. Is that another Oktoberfest beer, or is that something?
I will be drinking the same as Mark. I have a You Thirsty from Revival Brewing out of Cranston, Rhode Island.
Oh.
They're fairly new. I think they just started canning their stuff probably 5-6 months ago. It's all right. It's not the best. I think this can's a little old. They don't put the date on it, which kind of bums me out a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, Greg would have a fit over that one.
But it says a New England style. But I feel like it tastes more as a West Coast to me.
Well,
it's not real juicy.
It's a little juicy, more of that pine bitterness a little bit.
So Tom's what he said is true to the ratings here, because you got 5,200 total, 611 in the last 30 days, a 3.73 bottle cap rating. So yeah, that's fallen off a little bit there for Tom there. 6.5% ABV, 65 IBUs. A new little hop in here that I don't see too often. At least I've let me see. We've added 3 times the Citra, Galaxy, Mosaic, and Azaka hops. You don't see that one too often.
Yeah.
Azaka hop. What the hell is an Azaka hop? I gotta look that up and see what exactly you get. If they've added 3 times.
Founders brews a single hop beer with that.
Do they?
I saw whatever they did. They dry hopped it 3 times. Back on Untapped there.
So it's more of a flavor as opposed to bittering, because IBUs weren't that.
So here you go. It's named for the Haitian god of agriculture. It is a big hop. Is a big hop in citrus and tropical fruit tones. Its excellent aromatic qualities have quick-made Azaka a go-to hop for late and dry hop additions. Okay, so aroma is mango, papaya, orange, grapefruit, lemon, piney. How are you doing all of that in a hop? Look at that. Spicy, pineapple, grassy. They kind of did that twice there, didn't they?
Probably.
But tropical fruit, citrus. Wow.
Probably just depending how long you leave them in. I mean, it's probably.
Yeah, you're gonna get those different.
But it's interesting, the parentage. You've got like the family tree of the hops. That's kind of.
I like seeing that.
Yeah.
You know what it
So you've got
reminds
Northern Brewer, and then USD. The grandfather doesn't even really have a name. It's just like
It's
a
still a
catalog
number. Yeah. and then here's the mother and the father. The grandmother is Summit. Look at that. The grandfather's another number. And then here we have ADHA 483. Azaka. Oh,
It's registered too. That's interesting.
Oh, he's so cute, isn't he? Look at.
He looks just like his daddy.
Looks just like his daddy.
Yeah, just like his dad. Look at that. Oh. He's got his mom's leaves though. His mom's leaves. You know. He's
got his daddy's stem.
Yeah. I see what you did there. Yeah, nice. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's that was a serious breakdown of some hop right there. So. Yeah, you just got it here first. I don't know that you're gonna get a breakdown of Azaka hops anywhere else. You got it here. We're hard hitting right here, man. No, just kidding.
We're like the Ancestry.com of hops.
We are.
So you can just see, my name's Harry Hop, and I researched my lineage, and now I've got to wear that hat. That commercial where the lady finds out I've got a hat, and so you just have the hop. You have the same commercial for the hop.
Now you notice we attracted Prophet in the room now, and he was. Whoa! Someone's researching a relative. How far down the lineage are you going here, my friend? We can break down a hop.
Researching his cousins.
Yeah. How come they didn't go to the cousins, man? Yeah.
Cousins, herb disciples.
Yeah. Yeah, that is hilarious, man. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Earth says founders. It's called Azaka IPA. Yeah.
Huh. I have to look for that. We do get a lot of founders. Interesting.
Yeah, definitely we'll have to look for that. That's a good one. And Bum, what are you finishing up there, my friend?
Well, getting back to the Oktoberfest talk briefly.
Yeah.
Ruben's out of the room. I wanted him to see this. This would be of interest to him and to Mark. We were talking in the pre-show about smaller breweries finally doing an Oktoberfest for the first time. This, believe it or not, is Straub Oktoberfest, Mark.
Oh, Straub. Wow, that's a blast from the past.
Yeah, I had Straub on here a couple of months ago. They're doing some. There's Ruben. Straub Oktoberfest, Ruben.
Oh,
Straub.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're really getting adventurous, and I guess that's why they're putting out these 12 packs called adventure packs. There's like
I saw they relabeled all their stuff.
Yeah, like these ones that are just not the basic Straub, they're calling it Peter Straub.
Yeah.
That's not going to disguise the fact that it's Straub to anybody who doesn't like Straub.
Right.
But yeah.
But they're really branching out as far as styles. This newest, it's called Adventure Pack number 2. It has a Dunkel, an Oktoberfest, Helles, and I forget what the 4th style is. But they
had a Doppelbock in that pack like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. I did not know. Maybe, you know what? Were they putting out a variety packs a couple years ago?
Yeah, it was a different label and everything, but yeah.
Okay. But anyway,
the only reason I know, when I was at St. Vincent as a monk, one of the other monks is on their executive board or whatever. He was one of the family members of Straub's in Elk County.
Oh.
So he knew I loved craft beer, so I'd wake up in the morning to go to prayer, and there'd be a 12-pack of variety beers outside of my door. That's fantastic.
Nice.
Definitely helps the prayer.
You'd be a 12-pack, and you're like, oh, my prayers have been answered.
Exactly. There you go. Why even pray now? That's what I was going to pray for with more beer. And beer showed up. Boom. Yeah. There it is. Yeah.
God is good.
God is good. That makes that's more motivation to keep praying, right? You're like, yeah, there we go. Yeah, if every time I prayed there was a 12-pack of beer, I'd be praying all the time. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yeah, that's prayer motivation right there. Now, this beer is a pretty, you know, 194 total, 16.
Yeah, that's
Just a little bit below the level of the Sam Adams October.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit under their numbers.
Just a little.
Now, you know what's also interesting here is because you don't see too many of them rated very high. Like you don't see too many of them rated even a 4.
Mhm.
They're because they're kind of a sessionable beer. They're not going to really wow you. So this is pretty, you know, a 3.43 rating is pretty, I would say, you know, typical for that style, no?
Yeah. And these ratings all come from people with really sophisticated taste buds now. Anybody that's using Untapped. If Untapped would have existed 40 years ago, this would have been a 5-star beer.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, 40 years ago, dear God, yeah. 5.7% ABV, 24 IBUs. So,
But as far as tasting notes on this, since it's Straub, I'm not getting any salt, any sugar, or any gooseberries.
Okay. You can't rate it very high if it doesn't have any gooseberries.
yeah, I mean, if there's no gooseberries in it, what's the point?
But decent Oktoberfest. That's number 6 for me. 6 weekly Oktoberfest. I'm gonna have at least one through the end of October on Share a Beer.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I don't think I've had one this year.
An Oktoberfest?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fatheads is making it this year, Ruben. I had that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
Pretty
he
good.
did.
I saw you have that. Yeah.
Andrew, what are you having, my friend?
I'm having the same thing you're having.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But
a different brewery, a different maker.
Yeah, different maker, but the same liquid. But kudos for me though. My company decided to move me to another site, and I'm locked in Monday through Fridays, 8 to 4.
All right. Good for you. Yeah.
So
set hours.
I'll be able to make the Tuesday Share a Beer, but not the Friday.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. That's good to get regular hours, though, isn't it? Get that regular.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't have to wake up. I don't have to wake up before the chickens anyway.
So let me get to some of these new features that I was talking about earlier in Untapped. Now, you know, most of you know, if you don't know, Untapped is the beer drinking social app. So if you're new to craft beer or you've been drinking craft beer for quite a while and you wonder why we always referenced Untapped, it's really an app on your phone. So some of the new features in the 3.1.2 version of Untapped here on your phone is ratings by container. Tap the everyone link on a beer package to see the details. So you can rate by container now. So, and they have many different containers. So, you know, if you're drinking out of a glass, maybe you're drinking that, you know, a pint at a brewery, or you bought a bottle of whatever beer, or you bought a can of whatever beer. Now you can rate it by that particular container. Okay. So you can really break down your rating now, because you're going to have a slightly different experience. When we've talked about that here as well. You know, you could have possibly a different experience. Now they're allowing you sharing of badges earned to Instagram via the share action. So now you can share that badge you earn directly to Instagram without having to kind of. I typically kind of had to take like a screenshot of it and then share it, and that's typically how I would do it. So now you can share that badge directly to Instagram, which is good. Cool. And handy, because I think theirs is kind of an Instagram format anyway, so it seemed kind of like a natural thing. And then they've been putting a lot of effort into their nearby events and their nearby venues, and so they've put more into that as well now. So you know, it's a great app. Let's say you're traveling and you're going to a new area. Untapped is a good app to just whip out and you know, and see really quick, okay, what's happening here in this town? I'm in Indianapolis now. I want to find a good beer. You know, what's the top beers? What beers are trending? What's, you know, and so it'll it'll help you go that that way right away, you know, to find the top rated local beers in that particular area. So it's a good tool for everything for that. And even if you're overseas, our friend Charlie Egan right now is in the UK. If I were to go visit him, I could whip out my I could whip it out. You can take a look, but I could open my Untapped app, is a better way of saying that, and I could quickly find you know, the trending good local beers in that area, and go get some. You know what I'm saying? So it's really good for that, man. So as well as logging every single beer that you have, you know. So now our friends in the well, I don't know if they're our friends. We wouldn't admit that we associate with them because that would definitely take away from their street cred. But these acquaintances of ours in the malt liquor community, they don't necessarily have an Untapped for malt liquor, do they? Now they have malt liquor in Untapped, but I doubt they would use it because craft beer snobs use it.
I assume that's my cue.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them would go anywhere where the craft beer C words hang out. The craft beer C words and the homebrew scumbags.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I've never heard any of them mention one word about Untapped. Most of them probably don't even know what it is.
They probably don't even know it exists.
Yeah.
So we've got Billy D out, and what's the latest in our?
Okay, well, fairly brief report this week. I will start out with a brief history lesson for you guys from Falstaff Brewing Company. He gave a little bit of internet history in his video that he posted the other day, and this is a video that I might add ran about 15 minutes, and he said the F word over 100 times in about 15 minutes. I had to go back and watch it again and count. I mean, literally at one point, it was literally every other word for about 15 seconds.
Oh my God.
It was great. It was great. But anyway, I'm going to see if I can remember the exact quote from Falstaff, because getting this exact is important. He was talking about YouTube and the invention of YouTube. And I believe his quote ran along the lines of, YouTube was invented around 15 years ago or so, 12, 14, 15 years ago, by a guy who realized that people on the internet had nowhere to go to drink malt liquor with the label out. That's why YouTube was invented. I'll bet you guys didn't know that.
No.
Did not know that, and I'm glad that we now know. You know, now we know what the true.
Had my suspicions, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, who knew that in the Silicon Valley they really like their malt liquor? You know, I mean, that's pretty. And that's interesting. Yeah. You know, there's an underground malt liquor community. You know. Yeah. And it's from, you know, very young, very, you know, rich Silicon Valley people, you know.
See how many 40s they can buy.
Yeah, you just never. There's a very large, true beer geek, you know, community. Yeah, that's pretty interesting there.
But we did have a new video from our old missing in action friend Jay Vega this week. He hasn't he hasn't malt liquored us in I don't know how long.
No, it's been a long time.
I think he forgot about us. But anyway, he posted a new video, and instead of the typical music that these guys post on their thing, he decided to change things up, and he played a video of some pan flute music in the background.
What? What?
Yeah. Remember Zamfir? Remember that guy, master of the pan flute? I think it was a video of Zamfir playing. So.
Zamfir.
Malt liquor.
Instead of the typical, don't they have to play rap videos or something?
Yeah, it's not.
I thought rap was the suggested.
Yeah, it's the suggested, not required. Because Loot Bag Larry, a lot of times, actually, you would be into some of the stuff that Loot Bag Larry plays. Mark, he plays some Robin Trower, plays a lot of play some classic rock and step above the classic rock. Some good musician
I want to
music.
see a video. I want to see a video with like Beethoven's Fifth, or some good classic.
1812 overture.
1812 overture.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but I would guess if it would happen, it would be from Jay Vega.
And
opera. That's what I want. And you have to drink it to the opera.
Some good Italian opera or something, yeah.
Pavarotti or the Three Tenors.
Yeah, something like that.
The Three Tenors, no relation to the Four Horsemen of the MLDC.
Right.
That's
much
funny,
classier.
Yeah. But the only other news we have, a little bit of quick updates on some feuds that have been going on for a while. Tomorrow marks 30 days since Lone Wolf 420 gave his challenge to Brown Bag to do the 640 Club, and there has been no response from Brown Bag since then, which isn't totally surprising. Brown Bag does usually not get intimidated by anybody into making response videos or even doing challenges. So the deadline's tomorrow, and Lone Wolf 420 didn't specify what was going to happen if Brown Bag just ignored him. So we shall see.
That's the whole thing that's puzzling, because you know, now what is your true power now? What can you really do to the guy?
Yeah, he can't send him to malt liquor hell. Only Steel Worldwide can do that. The chairman,
and that's been made clear.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially if he didn't give a consequence for his inaction.
Right. He never got that far. So
Is he just going to be damned or something? Or
well, we'll see. Lone Wolf 420 is due to make another video. I'm sure he will after the deadline. So we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, is he going to give him that real throaty guy voice that you've got to go to hell like that or something? Or malt liquor hell. Yeah, malt liquor hell. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, is he going to give him one of those?
So speaking of the chairman, Steel Worldwide, for almost all year we've had this feud with 209 Jay Jones. When Jay Jones, tried to usurp his power, and I do think there's a little bit of thawing in the relationship, because they've made a couple comments in their videos, and the most recent one was Steel Worldwide did give a shout out to Jay Jones as part of the Malt Liquor Corvette Club. And he even said, shout out to Jay Jones, even though you tried to dethrone me earlier this year.
Okay.
So I think things are starting to soften up a little bit. Jay Jones, even in one of his videos from a couple months ago, he even mentioned Steel Worldwide, and he was like, make an apology video so we can put this all behind us. So I think everybody's encountered this in real life. Two people who really do want to make up, but they're just both so bullheaded and stubborn they refuse to be the first one to budge. So
it sounds like the relationship will heal.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. And I will end this malt liquor report with an exclusive secret bit of news here. This is a Share a Beer exclusive. The only people who will know this will be me and you guys in the room here. It's between just us. Nobody else will know it other than us.
Nobody else.
Yeah. I have been given a secret tip that YouTube commenter Malt Mustang is going to be mailing a 40 of Schlitz Bull Ice to 40 ounce Fear as part of his 40/40s challenge. Fear is up to number 30 out of 40 videos, and he has yet to drink a Schlitz Bull Ice. I don't believe Schlitz Bull Ice is available in Pennsylvania, which is where Fear lives, over near Philly and where I live. But on the Malt Mustang's recent trip to Michigan, he found a 40 of Schlitz Bull Ice up in Detroit. So I have been told that he might ship it to Fear. So you'll know if Fear got it when you see Fear make a video and give a shout out.
So Schlitz Bull Ice.
Can Malt Mustang tag us in that video so we can watch it when it's time?
I will ask him to do it.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if that's permitted. That might not.
I think
it's like crossing the streams, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I don't know.
It's up to his discretion, but You know.
That's you know.
I'll see what he says. I'll have my people talk it over with his people. I still
Okay.
get to meet the guy.
I would appreciate that. Yep.
He's risking a lot right there. He was risking a lot, even sharing that confidential information with you.
That's right.
You know,
I could be sent to malt liquor hell for that.
Yeah. Well, we all might be now that we know.
Malt liquor witness protection program.
I'm pretty sure I'm already there. So.
Now, I want to know when is going to be the first, or maybe they've had Malt Liquor Beer Fest and we haven't known about them, you know?
Well, I think the closest they come are those meeting of the minds that I was telling you about a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, the malt liquor meeting of the minds. Yeah.
I wonder if there is a malt liquor section at GABF. What do you think, Mark?
Probably not, but if there is, we'll find it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, where's the malt liquor section?
Craft beer malt liquor. Craft malt liquor.
Well, Founders made that big one.
Rogue is not your father, not your daddy's malt liquor or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They got it.
I tagged you guys in that Founders one, DKML, Donkey Kong Malt Liquor, and it was like 14% alcohol or something.
Yeah.
I didn't try it.
I had that. I still have a couple bottles left, Ruben. I was actually thinking about aging them.
Did you try it?
I had it on the show about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, he had it on.
I didn't see it. I'll have to watch.
It was the show that Mark missed. What was that, 3 weeks ago, Mark?
2 weeks ago.
What's hilarious, Ruben, is I think you tagged us at the same time Bum had it on the show. So I thought you had seen it.
No, I didn't. I gotta watch that. I usually watch every episode. I'm surprised I didn't see it.
Yeah, he had that on the show here. So that's
I drank that during the report a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure,
I'll watch it.
So is it better than Colt 45?
Yeah, it was better than that double malt. Way better.
Okay.
Now let me see. So he had Schlitz Bull malt liquor ice. Now, which bull was it? Is it the Red Bull or the Blue Bull?
Well, from my research, I've from what I can see, it looks like Red Bull may not be being produced anymore.
Oh, okay. So it's been sent to malt liquor hell.
Yeah, by Pabst Brewing, who owns Schlitz now.
Now, because now malt liquor don't necessarily go to heaven; it goes to hell. Is that
right? Right.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's the Schlitz, the regular Blue Bull, the Schlitz Bull Ice, and I think there's a couple other variants that are still floating around out there regionally. And if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that I would know all this information, I would have said you're crazy.
You just have to be open to new ideas.
Yeah.
It was a whole world out there that I didn't, fascinating world that I didn't know.
You better go back and check. You might have done that on your resolutions for, when you were sitting there New Year's Eve going, what, I got to come up with learn more about malt liquor.
Now in January, when we, right after January 1, we'll reflect on, are we better than last January 1, now that we're in January 2018, let's reflect on 2017, and are we a better person? You can say you are better because you have a more well-rounded beer knowledge,
That's right.
So yeah, that's, now has anybody seen some of the latest commercials? Now, if you watch football, now we are week 2 of the NFL is now past us, and we are already into week 3. Thursday will be the Rams, of course, so everyone will get that treat. The Rams did announce their Color Rush uniform for the Thursday game. That's the Color Rush uniforms are back. But if anybody saw the new Budweiser commercials where they're poking fun at the craft beer scene this past weekend, basically,
I watched a fair amount of football, but I didn't see it. Well, maybe it's because I was drinking when I was watching. I didn't notice.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. I watched it all day Sunday.
Wow, and they play them over and over and over and over again. The same commercial, but it's basically, we don't make, there's 4 basic ingredients in our beer, and we don't make these big complicated, beers. If you just want to drink something nice and simple. You know what I'm saying? And that was the basic premise of the commercial, you know.
And they can get away with that. Doesn't seem hypocritical to the masses out there that are watching those commercials who don't know what's really going on with them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they did that commercial. Was that 2 Super Bowls ago when they had the craft beer? What was the Super Bowl commercial when Budweiser did that was like
the peach ale.
Maybe it was the pilot for it. It was a couple years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
They were mocking kind of the hipster craft beer drinker or something like that. Yeah.
It to me, it's kind of like McDonald's buying like Smash Burger and Five Guys, and then making fun of gourmet burgers. You know.
Yep.
Exactly.
If you want complete artificial meat, why would you want to complicate your life with all this real 100% beef?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It is funny though, because I mean, yeah, they're poking fun, but like we're saying, regular beer is still 80 to 90% of the market. So they're not really. All they're doing is solidifying their reputation with the people that are going to drink 80% of their product anyway. Yeah. And by buying up all the craft brewers, they're going to get a bigger and bigger percentage of that little piece anyway. So they, doesn't really matter.
Yeah. In the end, it doesn't. I find them funny. You know.
Oh yeah, I do too. Yeah. Why not? Beer. Every beer has its place, even malt liquor.
Yeah. Yeah. Even
I haven't been in that place in a while, but I mean, every beer has its place.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure a lot of craft beer people would be highly offended by the hypocrisy there, but I would just laugh at it too. I mean, how could you get offended by that? You just laugh at the silliness of it all.
Sure.
That's right.
Yeah, I think they're entertaining. It's entertainment, and it to me, it's just funny. You know what I'm saying? I don't, like you said, I personally don't take it that serious, but there's so much hate going on around right now, and I could just imagine the uproar. I'm sure we'll be around some of it when we get to Colorado. There,
we're going to run into I think some serious macro haters.
Yeah.
I
would imagine.
I
imagine there's going to be shirts and everything like. Who knows? I don't know what to expect. I'm just for those that don't know, me, Mark, and Tom are going to be in at GABF, which is the Great American Beer Festival. I feel like Rachel Ray. I hate it when Rachel Ray goes, EVOO. You know what I'm saying?
GABF.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then and what bugs me about her is that she'll go every single time. It's like, EVO, extra virgin olive oil. Well, then why say the acronym? You know what I'm saying? You just gave all the initials to shorten it, but you made it longer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost like she's doing a cooking show, only she's texting everything.
Yeah.
It's I don't go GABF and then go Great American Beer Festival after every time. It just, anyway, that reminded me of that. But
hashtag.
Yeah. If you want to meet us in Denver, we are going to be there that very first weekend. God, I keep forgetting the date every time. Is it the 6th?
Then we're going to the session. Is it the 5th? Friday the 5th?
No, it's the 6th. Friday
6th. Friday the 6th. Yep.
Okay, so we'll be there Friday, going to the later session.
I think it starts at like 5:30 or something like that. Yeah.
So we'll be going to the later session on Friday. If you're going to be at that session, please let us know. Holler. Otherwise, that Friday, Saturday, which would be the 7th, right? We'll be just hanging out in Denver, going to different breweries and sampling stuff and doing just whatever, really. I don't think we have a set plan, but we would love to see you there. Would love to hear from you. My email is jodreviews@gmail.com, so you're more than welcome to email me or just leave a comment in the show and let us know you're going to be there, or send a message on. Can you send messages on Untapped? Can you DM somebody? No, I don't think you can you?
No.
I don't think so.
I've never seen it.
Feature request.
I think you can do it, like, say, on a beer that you've had that checked
Yeah.
in with, you could send a message that way.
Yeah, you could send messages that way. But in any case, we
They're
will
always
be
set
there.
by the coach.
Just to put that out there for anybody else that might be in Denver or might be thinking about going to Denver. So, right now Southwest is having cheap fares, man. So, just a little nudge.
I'd love to go.
So yeah, I'll just keep putting that out there until hell, we're a couple weekends away now, man.
We got two more share beers and then we're there. So.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's gonna come it's gonna come so fast.
Yeah, what sucks is when it's over because you're like, damn, already. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that was a quick 3 days.
Yeah. So, gonna be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that for sure. So we haven't done a rant or a rave section in quite a while. Anybody got any? I'll just put it out there in general. If anybody has a rant or a rave you want to share with us.
I have a rave. I would like to give a toast to a classic individual who died this past weekend. Several of you will know who he is. Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yep. Local wrestler.
Yeah, one of the classic professional wrestling managers of all time.
Yeah.
And it was tragically ironic that Bobby the Brain Heenan, who was one of the best talkers in the business and had one of the greatest gifts of gab, spent the last 10 years battling throat and jaw cancer. And anybody who's read about it or seen him, it was horrible. He basically had the same thing happen to him that Roger Ebert had happened to him.
Oh, yeah.
I think Heenan was the wrestling equivalent of Bobby Knight from college basketball.
Yeah. But anybody who remembers Bobby in the glory days, he was a manager, and then he became a color commentator for the WWF for a lot of years.
Mid to late 80s into the mid 90s, probably, right? Yeah.
He was classic. So I wanted to give a shout out to Bobby the Brain Heenan, and I will leave everybody with one of his classic quotes. A friend in need is a pain in the neck.
A friend in need is a pain indeed, huh?
Oh, man.
That's funny, man. Yeah, well, I'm glad you shared that one with us, man. Yeah, he is definitely man, I used to now those are the days when I used to watch wrestling. I used to watch I enjoyed wrestling.
Back when it was really entertainment and it wasn't soft porn like it is today.
I have no problem with soft porn. I don't like scripted stuff.
Yeah, come on. What are you talking about? My soft porn there, bro? What's up with that?
Yeah.
No, it's the scantily clad females, and it's like you got kids that are like 9, 10, 11, 12 years old watching this stuff with their parents. It's like, nah, kid doesn't need that. Young doesn't need to be watching that. I guess is my point.
Yeah, and no, the mid 80s well, I remember it in the 60s and 70s, but the mid 80s was when the WWE World Wrestling Federation kind of went big time, Superfly.
Yeah.
Actually, WWE took over the old AWA that was ran by Vern Gagne.
To link beer into this, WWF was basically the Anheuser-Busch of wrestling. They bought up all the small territories.
They bought up everybody.
Yeah.
Ambev.
It was but those to me were the glory days of wrestling when I used to really get into it. And prior to that, it was all about the roller derby. I used to love
roller derby. Yeah,
I used to love to watch the LA Thunderbirds, man. They were the greatest, man. I used to love roller derby. I know it still exists in local areas. You can go to roller derby pretty much every weekend if you want. And I have not gone to. I've seen roller derby on YouTube, but it's still not quite what it used to be on television. You had those unique characters, and that's when the I know right now there's a big women's movement going on, but boy, I mean that there was no bigger, stronger, greater, like more powerful woman than the ones that existed in roller derby. Man.
Oh man, yeah,
they dominated.
Yeah,
Brutal.
big time. Yeah, there was some.
Yeah, you had some women that would really beat up on those dudes, man. I mean, they would really hammer them. They'd be giving them those elbows, man, and like jumping on them. And all kinds of stuff.
They jump up and then drop down.
It was almost like back then there was a school you could go to learn how to land flat on your back without hurting yourself. And after you graduate from that school, they say, all right, you can pick pro wrestling or roller derby.
Yeah,
right.
Yep. Yeah, basically roller derby was wrestling on wheels. I mean, that was essentially it. Yeah,
that's really what it was. And then I used to love the way they'd be coming back trying to make a rally, and they'd give each other the arm like that. Yeah, it was
shot one around the rink.
Yeah. So those were the good old days. So anybody else have a rant or a rave for us?
I got a couple raves. Went from bouncing around all over Hell's Creation. I'm now locked into one particular job, 40-hour work week, 8 to 4.
Good. That's good.
And picked up a couple CDs when I was out at Target the other day.
What is that? A CD? What is that?
This one's Toby Keith's Bus Songs. This is more of a comedy CD that he put together. Type into YouTube "Weed with Willie," and then this one here is a soundtrack for the latest Ken Burns deal on Channel 2, Vietnam War,
which I'm getting ready to record momentarily. Thank you for the reminder, Andrew. Getting ready to.
And then over the weekend, up at a picnic for our local bald eagle nest, I got this nice little bald eagle jewelry box, and when you open it,
the eagle call. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
So I think I'm doing pretty good. Not about anything.
Life is great.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good, man. It doesn't get no. That's good, man. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate.
One more thing. I did get my smoker finally seasoned fully.
There you go. All right.
I stayed up and kept that thing going for 8 hours, then go to bed till about 1:45 on Saturday morning.
Yeah. So that's the key. That you do have to run it for a while to get it properly seasoned, because you got to do it all in one go.
Yeah, you got to season it like a cast iron skillet before you use it the first time.
So what's going to be the first thing you smoke in that bad boy?
I'm thinking beef ribs.
Nice.
Okay.
Something simple and not too complicated, and it's not going to take forever and a day to smoke like briskets. I've seen, say, a 15-pound brisket takes anywhere from, say, 12 to 20 hours, depending on how long you want to leave it in.
Yeah. That's one of those. Yeah, that's for insomniacs.
Yep.
If you can't go to sleep, cook a brisket.
And now, do we have any other rant or raves?
I'm just gonna do a quick rave for electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The storm last week, we didn't have any damage, but the electricity went out for a couple of days and the internet went out for a few days, and it's nice to have electricity back. And I guess the rant would be on the other side of that is, boy, are we wimpy nowadays. I mean, we're all bitching and moaning about not having electricity for a day or two. Well, man, we're all soft. We've all gone soft.
I'm kind of wondering myself, because since I do have it's not a huge solar system, but solar nonetheless. And I kind of wonder during a power outage, I'm thinking maybe I wouldn't have power at night. I think I would have.
Yeah.
I think I would have power.
Pretty much guaranteed, unless it's a really, really bright moon.
Yeah, yeah, it would have to. Yeah, it'd have to be one of those.
Oh, you just need to get a power wall. You need to hook up with your buddy Elon and get yourself a power wall, and then you're set.
Yeah, and some malt liquor. You know.
Yeah.
They secretly, you know,
Either that or get solar on your roof.
Yeah, well, I have solar on the roof. That's
but you have nowhere to store the power now at this point.
Yeah, I don't have anywhere to store it. So, it did make me think about that because and I would love him to elaborate because I do listen to Clark Howard and he does talk about how he has his whole house solar powered.
Mm-hmm.
But he said he was out of electricity, and I'm like, well, how does that work? You have solar.
Yeah.
Like, at least during the day, you should have enough power to. And he has a Tesla, so it's like.
Yeah.
He should have battery backup in his house someplace.
He probably doesn't yet.
Well, yeah. I mean, don't run the Tesla. Use the Tesla batteries to run your refrigerator and stuff at night. Like, it just seems like, how was he out of power? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it just kind of. Like, it seemed like at least during the day, and he has a big system. He even has like a solar farm on his property.
Yeah, he has a good sized property. I mean, he talks about being cheap and being frugal, and because of that, he was able to buy himself a large piece of property with a nice house on it. Yeah. He's doing very well.
He's doing very well. Yeah,
there's a lot of money in being cheap.
Yeah, he's and you can go into like he's one of the cheapest guys I know, but that's a good point, Mark, because it's like you save all that money to spend it on stuff, on other things.
He spends it on the stuff that's important to him, you know. And so he bought himself a $90,000 car. He's got a multi-million-dollar home,
right.
But he still wears like $50 suits, you know.
Yeah, and that's expensive. Yeah, that's
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he doesn't wear like this is a first edition shirt. Like, he's got to wear stuff that's a factory throwout.
Factory second.
It's factory second. There you go. Yeah, he doesn't wear a real shirt. It's got to be a second.
Yeah.
That he can buy under $10. Like that
$15 he saves on that shirt, that gives him like one more shingle on his solar panel. It just keeps happening.
Yeah, but that's I definitely living through you and other people that I've heard gone without electricity definitely made me love mine that much more. You know what I'm saying? And appreciate it that much more. So.
Gives me a reason to pick up a generator and hook it up to the house.
Yeah,
just for emergency backup.
Yeah, that's definitely so. Thanks for that, guys. I don't really have a rant or a rave myself, other than looking forward to my daughter's going to be coming this weekend. Just on a personal note, and so I'm looking forward to seeing my daughter. Right now she's very pregnant. She's my second grandchild is on the way. It's going to be a girl, we know that much, so very much looking forward to taking her to a ball game. I'm going to take her to her first ball game, so thrilled about that. So cool. That would be my rave for sure.
That's a good one.
Spend time with my daughter. So I was looking forward to seeing my grandson, but she just said it's probably not a good idea to bring him. So okay, I'll take your word for it.
He's at a stage, huh?
Yeah, he just turned 2. So
there's a good reason.
And he is a very big boy for his age. So yeah,
he'd be tearing up your house then.
Yeah, he could throw a fit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, I don't see that in him. You know what I'm saying? That he's my grandson. I don't see that in him. You know what I'm saying? But looking forward to number 2 coming pretty soon. But my daughter will be here this weekend, so I'm looking forward to spending some time with her and going somewhere to eat and everything. Now, did anybody real quick too? I want to spend just a few more minutes on this. I did try to win one of those stupid Olive Garden cards. I don't know if anybody else did. The all-you-can-eat pasta card for $100. I think it was last Thursday. This past Thursday, I think. It was $100 for 8 weeks, all the pasta meals that you could eat. So it was it included all you can eat salad, all you can eat breadsticks, of course, all you can eat soup, and all you can eat pasta with one topping, right? So it's basically whatever is on that pasta menu, you could eat. Now, they're only open for lunch or dinner, Olive Gardens, but you could do that every single day, lunch and dinner, for 8 weeks. And Clark Howard's where I heard it from, and he broke it down. He said if you did that, it'd be $2 a meal, right? For $100. Now, for $200, they had 50 of these cards, and that would win you a trip for two to Italy. And it was a 7-day trip, all expenses paid, for two. And I believe it was 7 different cities as well. It was a hell of a deal. So if you're one of the and that was $100 more. So for $200,
wow,
50 people got to win a trip for two to Italy. So I thought, why not, right? At the least I figured, and they had 21,000 of these things, right? For the $100 cards, they had 21,000 of these, and only 50 of the ones with the trip. So combined, that's 21,050 of these cards. So I thought, I'll get on there, and they had their own counter on their website. They had a special website for it, and their own counter, so it counted down. And they said when the counter hit 0, be ready. All the instructions were on there. Be ready. Now there was nothing to pre-fill out, but they told you to have your credit card ready, have everything ready, because once you click on that click button, once you click on the button, you've got 8 minutes to buy it, right?
Okay, all right. And
they said they're going to go fast. Now this is the first time I've ever heard of it. Apparently they do this every year, and it was the first I had heard of it. I heard it on Clark. I actually am a new listener to Clark Howard. I've only been listening to him probably for 5 months now, but so I got on there and I'm like, okay, and I'm staying up now. It was 11 o'clock local time here in Arizona, so I'm like, okay, and I hit 3, 2, and then when it hit 1, I started clicking, right? I started, and I swear to God, it went 3, 2, 1, 0, sold out. I was like,
what the hell?
Well, yeah, I guess if I have a rant, it's that. Like, it felt like complete BS. It felt like
you felt like you were set up.
Yeah, it felt like I was like, I literally was clicking at 3, 2, 1. As soon as I hit 1, I was on my mouse clicking on the button.
Yeah,
and it literally sold out like in once. And so I guess there's been such an outrage over it because it felt like made up. Like there's no.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's like you're like there were 21,000 of these things sold out that fast, and they literally said, "Yep." I heard a news story on it on my news pod. I listened to the local radio news. They make a podcast of that in LA, out of LA, and I that's my 30 or 40 minutes worth of news that I'll get caught up on every night. And they covered it because there's been so much outrage over this thing, and Olive Garden said, we raise the number every year, they said, and it's still not enough. It still sells out. And they said this year it sold out in 1 second.
Wow.
I'm like,
they've got a heck of a marketing firm, because for that to happen, there's got to be 50 or 100,000 people just clicking it all at the same time.
All at the same, like
it has to be.
Yeah.
So what? This that, and for $100, man. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking, I'm like, I don't go to Olive Garden that much, but I was like, for $100, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Even if
you go once or twice a week for 2 months and feel like you've definitely got your money's worth.
Yeah, I was like, even if I just, even if I went once a weekend, I'm like, but you know, and I don't think Olive Garden's that bad. I think they're pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, it's fast. It just felt like there's
Yeah.
no way this was a gimmick. And then I was mad because I was insanely tired. I stayed up till 11 for me, which is, you know, like anybody else. If you work at 8 in the morning and you stayed up till 11 at night, it's the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, you know, for me, staying up till 11 in the morning is the same as 11 at night for you. So it's like, you know, I was exhausted. I was sitting there, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, so, you know, those of you who know I'm due for a new phone, and I am going to get that new iPhone. So that made me think about that. Like, how fast is that iPhone going to sell out for the pre-sale? I mean, $1,000, $1,100 for the other one. Like, people are talking about the price, but I know from previous sales that they sell out in like a matter of minutes, you know.
And they'll be on eBay double the price.
Yeah, so it's
crazy.
Yeah, I know I'll be on there for the you know, for the pre-sale, or what do they call it? Pre-sale, right? Something like that.
Was it end of October or something like that?
October 27th. So it made me think, okay, let's say they have 100,000 of these things ready to go. They, you know, like how fast?
It's gonna be gone in a matter of a minute or less. You know, it's just gonna be gone.
It's just, you know,
you get on a waiting list, and they'll start getting them in dribs and drabs, you know, every week or 2 weeks after that. Yeah,
like you're gonna be, in order to get one of the first ones where they ship right away, and you're gonna get yours in like a week, let's say, or right at the release date, which I think is that first weekend in December, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
It is,
But in order to be one of those first ones, like you're gonna have to be just a lucky clicker, I would think.
Yeah, I think so.
Because in the past, I've been one of those people that had to wait 3 or 4 weeks. You know, I've gotten one of the first ones, but I was like in that second crowd that had to wait that 3 or 4 weeks. You know,
you're probably better off having your card already like accessible, like on the website, have it already in there.
Oh yeah, no, well that's the beauty of Apple. Yeah, all my information's already in there. So the minute I sign in and then the pre-sale starts, you know, the Apple, I'm already in the Apple everything. So it's, all I got to do is it's basically almost like a Amazon one-click purchase, really. Except you can't, well, now you can. That's another thing that happened, right? The Amazon one-click deal is over, right? Like the patent on it expired or whatever they call it. So now, you know, other people can call it one click. Believe it or not, that was a patent. Amazon had that. Like, you could not one click without Amazon suing your ass off, right? It was always phrased or done a slightly different way, not to piss off Jeff, because you don't want to make Jeff mad, you know. So yeah, that's the way that works. So now that expired as well. So anyway, I didn't mean to go on that long, but
hey Joe, I got a quick joke for you. You know why you don't want to fart in an Apple store?
Oh boy, why is that?
They don't have windows.
They don't have
I believe you've told this one before.
Yeah, he put it in the comments.
It's been a while.
Yeah, he put it in the comments. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny though. Thanks, man. But yeah, I just wanted to share that experience with you guys, man. That was like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have another one of those coming up when I pre-order my iPhone. So that's gonna be.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, there's probably a bunch of other Joes out there going, "This is fake. I clicked it right away and I even sold out."
There was, yeah, because I don't get on Twitter that often, but I know there's a lot of people ranting and ranting about a lot of stuff on Twitter. So I was like, there's got to be people on Twitter pissed off about this. And sure enough, there are a bunch of them on there pissed off. You know, so saying the same exact things, like, you know, oh, that was a racket. That was fake. You know what I'm saying? It literally went 3, 2, 1, sold out. You were like, what? That was too.
I could have got an extra 2 hours of sleep.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. Oh, Anyway, guys, we'll see you, man. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate everyone's support, and we'll see you on the Friday show, man.
We're 31. All right. See ya.
All right, man.
You guys.
See you next Tuesday.